Son-in-law wants ribs for the holidays. So that's what we're going to do. But we're going to twist. It'll be good any time of the year. We're doing Winter Jack ribs with Jack Daniel's Winter Jack Cider. Hang on. We start by firing up about half a chimney of B&B briquettes. We put those in our WSM charcoal grate. It's got a lot of unlit charcoal in it, and that'll burn slowly across that surface. And it's going to be governed by our controller. We've got an inkbird temperature controller that will hook up on the side there. I've got another video on how that riser works to control the temperature in my 22.5-inch WSM. It includes this pipe that I'm going to lift up here and a magnet that keeps it vertical. So that all assembles together, and now we can simply insert our inkbird controller on top of this vent stack, and it has inputs for 3 temperature controllers and a ambient temperature controller. So one is to control temperature, and the other 3 are to monitor meat temperature. The 4th place is to plug in the power cord, and the power cord, of course, gets plugged into a conventional household outlet that you need to run this unit. Now all the controls are up near the cooking surface, out of the way, and then I can go back inside where I can prepare all the meat. I've got 4 racks of Smithfield full rack there, and I'm going to cut them down to a St. Louis cut so they fit better, and also we can save back some of the meat for other activities. This piece I'm cutting off here is going straight in the trash though, because it's just no good for anything. Let's pull off the skin here and the membrane so that we can get all of our seasoning to penetrate through, and we want that Winter Jack to play a role on every surface that we can get it into. I've got all 4 racks trimmed up now, and I'm gonna pick up my tub here so that my seasonings don't go all over the place. Add some regular yellow mustard to all 4 racks, and pat in the rub here. Today I'm using a Moe's Barbecue Signature all-purpose rub there, and that stuff is fantastic. It has a fair amount of sugar in it, but so many other seasonings I don't even know what all is in it. It is delicious. Do all 4 sides, and don't forget to do the edges on these ribs, and set those things aside while we go check on our controller once they're all done. See how our WSM is up to temperature. Yeah, I'm going to spray the grates with a high temperature oil. This one is canola oil, I think, and then put in all 4 racks. I'm going to use the WSM racks instead of hanging my ribs today. I got a FireDial temperature, or I should say heat diffuser, underneath that lower rack, and then I can put in an upper rack, put in 2 more, and monitor one of the racks that are on the top too. So we've got 3 racks are being monitored, and then of course the temperature controller does most of the work. Let it set for about an hour, come back and check on it, and this is where we're going to start introducing that Winter Jack flavor. It's a combination of apple cider vinegar, Winter Jack, and a little water to my spray bottle, and we're going to use that whenever it starts to dry out. And we're trying to not knock off any of the rubs when we do this, and you want to make sure you're spritzing the upper rack and the lower rack. After a couple hours, come back here to check on the temperature. I brought my InstaRead thermometer with me just to double check, make sure I haven't got one of the probes inserted in the wrong place. It's really easy to do when you're not using a big, thick piece of meat. This one we can do spot checks around, and I'm going to see that it's around the 1 152 or 155 mark on these ribs. And so that tells me it's about time to wrap them up. And then that's where they really get to finish the cook. And that's when they start falling off the bone, which is exactly what my son-in-law has ordered. The lower racks are done a little more than the upper racks. It's okay. Just and keep going. Now we can lay out our aluminum foil, put our butter down, and then here's where we're going to start adding layers of flavor. This is brown sugar, and almost every rib rack I do includes brown sugar, but it really makes them delicious. But this profile here we're talking about today is the Winter Jack, and so make sure these are wrapped up really tight. Want all the steam to stay inside. Take whatever remaining spritzer liquid you have and put about 1/4 of it in each of the 4 packets of ribs. Seal it up very tight because we want all that steam to stay inside. We're going to put it back onto the smoker for about another hour. And the internal temperature gets to 205. Those ribs will be falling off the bone. And that's what my family always asks for. We're not serving these ribs today, so we're going to portion them up into 2 rib sets there. And I take about 3 of those and put them in a vacuum bag along with the drippings from the wrap and seal them up. And when I get all 4 racks individually sealed like that, they're ready to travel. Okay. All right. So we got those ribs all packed up in vacuum sealed bags. Drove them about 5 hours north over the next couple days, and we served them in crock pots. So the crock pots were very simple. You just unzip the bags, I should say, open up the bags and put them in the individual crock pots with just the Gentleman Jack flavors on them. And when I vacuum sealed them, you may have noticed I put a little bit of the juices that were remaining after the wrap inside each of those vacuum sealed bags. And so they just got into the meat. It was so falling off the bone. It was not for everybody, but that's how my family likes it. So I think everybody was really pleased with how that was. But when you serve them in the individual crock pots like that, you can leave them alone. People can eat them with some spicier sauces. So people can eat them with some sweeter sauces or just by themselves. It's fantastic. So I appreciate you coming by and taking a closer look at the Gentleman Jack ribs. The Winter Jack Cider is the star of that show, and this stuff has been really good for the ribs. So you'll expect to see some more of this in the future. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Give me a comment on the individual cook that you'd like for me to do, or if you've got an idea for a recipe, let me know, and we'll see what we can do to put it on the channel for you. I'm always looking for new things to try out. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to grill on.